What's up guys, Tommy Bowyer here from Movie Rewind, and today we will be reviewing Jaws 3D. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in terms of character development, this film has horrendous character development. Now, I get that the studios thought that we need to connect this Jaws film to the previous two Jaws films. The only connection it has is that it follows the adult lives of Michael and Sean Brody, the sons of Chief Brody, the star of the previous two Jaws films. Apart from that, this movie does not connect to any other Jaws film. And I really don't see why they had to connect them. This film is basically a standalone film. And as for the characters, I'm not invested in them. They're all one-dimensional. I couldn't have cared if they lived or died in this film. I can't even remember half of the characters' names. So character development gets a 1 out of 10 because, to be honest, it is absolutely abysmal in this movie. Now, the performances in this movie are also pretty shit. Now, while I think that some of the performances are okay, none of them really stand out. Of course, the problem Jaws 3D has is it doesn't have Roy Schneider in it. And Roy Schneider was probably the only good performance in Jaws 2. So this movie just has a lot of what I can only describe as horror movie actors. They're not really invested in the film, they're just kind of turning up, they're not putting their effort into it. So the performances get a 2 out of 10 because while they are all passable, no one really seems invested in this film whatsoever. Now, probably the main thing about this film, which it focuses on, is the effects. Now, Jaws 3D is your stereotypical 80s horror film. And this happens so much. I mean, Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D. A lot of horror films during the 80s, for their third film, they would use the gimmick of 3D. Now, I'm not saying that 3D can be used effectively. However, in this film, it is used quite a lot as a gimmick. And if you don't have 3D, then you will wonder why it keeps kind of spending about 20 seconds on a particular shot. I mean, it's because of the 3D effect. However, to anyone who doesn't have 3D glasses, it just looks like they're spending 20 seconds just on one shot. And it really doesn't make sense. To be honest, I feel like the 3D was just a gimmick in this film. And while it's not bad 3D, I don't think it was used effectively. It seems like it was just a gimmick to try and get people into the cinemas to see it. So the effects are going to get a 5 out of 10 because while I believe that they're passable effects, I think it was just a gimmick to get people to see this film. Now, as for the story and writing in this film, I really feel that they put this script together in one day. That just shows how much effort they put into it, because the problem with this film is it's set in SeaWorld, which, if you don't know, is an amusement park in America, in Florida, all about water creatures and water rides and all of that. And the idea is that this shark starts killing residents. It gets into SeaWorld and starts killing loads of things. Now, the problem is that they try and set this film up at first as a mystery, you know, and there's a massive twist that they think they have caught the shark, which is quite a big shark. However, it turns out it's just a baby shark, and it's the enormous mother shark which is out there killing everything. And then the last half hour of this film is just this massive female shark just going from scene to scene, killing people. And to be honest, it's just mindless gore and violence. So I think in terms of story and writing, they were more focused on the 3D effects rather than having a good script. So that's where Jaws 3D fails. And it's quite ironic it's called Jaws 3D because they paid more attention to the 3D elements than they did to the actual Jaws and story elements. So the story and writing gets a 1 out of 10 because I don't think they focused on the script whatsoever. Now, for this film's special recognition, I have to talk about the shark. This shark is probably one of the most goofiest sharks in the Jaws franchise. It is basically like a tank. It is enormous, it has these massive teeth, and in one scene, it is able to swallow a human whole. Now I know the sharks in the previous Jaws films were also quite big. However, this one was just off the scale. It was insanely big. It was too giant. And apart from that, I really just find this shark not very threatening. It's just, it looks fake. It looks fake as shit. I think they try and use a lot more effects on the shark in this film. However, it just doesn't work. This shark it just looks fake as shit. It's way too big. And the fact that it can swallow a man whole, that just seems stupid. No shark alive can do that. So this special recognition gets a 0 out of 10 because the shark was just too big. I think they've crossed the line in this film from just shark attacks into like a monster attack. So in conclusion, Jaws 3D has very poor characters, it has passable performances, and the only merit it has is it has the gimmick of being set in 3D. Jaws 3D is one of the worst films I have ever seen, and it gets a 9 out of 50, which gives it a grade 6 ranking. Honestly, after seeing this film, I didn't think that the Jaws franchise could reach any lower. However, I found out that by watching the full film, oh yes it can. So thanks for watching guys, I really do hope you enjoyed my Jaws 3D movie review. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even improved quality content in the future, and I will see you in another one. See ya!